Hello everybody and welcome back to Screen Stars. I'm here today to review Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, a movie that stars Frances McDormand, Woody Harrelson and Sam Rockwell. And this is the movie that where Frances McDormand is heavily tipped to receive another Oscar, and after watching it I can absolutely understand why. This is a really fantastic movie that has taken me some time to watch, but very pleased that I have now. And what is this movie about? Well, what we have with this movie is it's actually a strange blend of a very dark comedy drama, very dark comedy, and focuses on Frances McDormand's character Mildred, who tragically had her daughter murdered about a year previously to where the movie starts. And the police in Ebbing, where she lives, have gotten nowhere in regards to solving her death and finding out who killed her. Um, so she decides to take drastic action, and she hires three billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri, in a hometown right next to each other, and initially puts up three inflammatory messages directed essentially right at the local police department, and in particular Woody Harrelson's character, who plays the sheriff of the local town. Obviously the local police find out about it. They're none too pleased, as are some members of the local community. Woody Harrelson goes to see Mildred to kind of ask, why are you doing this? And, her response is, pretty flat out, do your jobs, basically. Find out who killed my daughter. And Woody Harrelson kind of pleads with her in a fairly despicable way, in a sense that he basically explains to her, I've got cancer, don't you know? And she's like, yeah, I know, everyone knows, I don't care, do your job, sort of thing. So she won't back down, and essentially the police aren't happy about this. Woody Harrelson does empathise. He really does. He wants to solve the crime, but there's just no clues left. There's nowhere left for the evidence to take him. Sam Rockwell's character, who plays like this backward sheriff, who is really unsympathetic, really. And he's got a reputation for beating suspects, especially coloured suspects, and he's probably at the beginning of the movie the worst kind of police officer you could imagine in a town like this, and he plays it magnificently, Sam Rockwell. So that's essentially the core of this movie. It's a stance between the incredibly powerful woman Mildred, very strong woman, facing off against the local police to fight them into doing something and trying to find the killers who murdered her daughter. And this stirs up much in the way of disturbance at home between her and her son and her ex-husband, some members of the local community, and she does not back down an inch from any of them. And one of the most incredibly powerful and strong performances I've ever seen by Frances McDormand, and she thoroughly deserves the Oscar if she does receive it. However, special mention needs to go to Woody Harrelson firstly, who I think gives an incredible performance too. Wonderful performance, but especially as well Sam Rockwell, who actually has the character that with the greatest arc in the film. He starts off at the beginning and he's really unlikable. Is this sheriff character? Not this police officer character that he plays. Really unlikable, and he plays it with such subtlety, Sam Rockwell. It's incredible because you barely notice the changes that his character goes through. And by the end of the movie, he is a completely different character, really. But he does it with such subtlety. I can't emphasise that enough. Wonderful performance by Sam Rockwell, who I think is one of the greatest character actors working today. So fantastic performances throughout this film as well. I mean, Peter Dinklage is in this movie, um, and he gives again. Initially, when you notice him in the movie, you're kind of like, oh, is that it? Is that all he's doing? But he actually has a little bit more of a significant role later on, and he gives a wonderful performance too. This film is just littered with acting masterclasses from everybody involved. The story, like I say, is very, very dark. Um, there are layers of humour thrown in there, and it's one of those movies, a little bit like Get Out, where you kind of feel a little bit guilty laughing at some of the things that go on in this movie. And it's just beautifully made, beautifully acted. It's one of those movies that can be studied in acting classes throughout the world, how to make a movie. Fantastic, beautiful script, wonderful direction, great cinematography, screenplay magnificent, acting stunningly done. And this movie is an 8.9 out of 10 for me. Wonderful, fantastic. The only reason I don't give it a 9 is the ending left me a little bit unsatisfied, but I understand completely why they gave us the ending that they did. It made sense. So yeah, fantastic film, guys. Don't miss it if you haven't seen it. It's really, really worth watching. And yeah, this is a recommendation for me.